Every summer, I find myself craving strawberry matcha lattes, but this year I thought let's try to make this into a loaf. So I started out by cutting up my strawberries into small chunks, and I macerated the strawberries just to pull out some of that excess moisture because strawberries do have quite a bit of excess water. So I put them into a bowl and then I covered them with a little bit of sugar, made sure everything was well coated, and then put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Then I pulled it out and let them drain on a paper towel. Then in a bowl, I added all of my dry ingredients. So I added flour, salt, baking powder, cornstarch, and of course, matcha. Then I went and whisked everything together to make sure it was all well mixed. Then in another bowl, I started with my wet ingredients. So I started with 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk, and I added the sugar. I went ahead and whisked those together to try to incorporate as much air in this step as possible. Matcha can end up a little dense, so I find that whisking this really helps lighten up the loaf. Once it was nice and airy and I could see some bubbles, I added a neutral oil, some milk, as well as just a little bit of vanilla. Once again, I just gave that all a good mix. Then I went ahead and sifted the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, and I wanted to sift it because I wanted to make sure the matcha didn't have any clumps. Once the wet and dry ingredients were mixed, I added the strawberries, but before I added the strawberries, I tossed them in a little bit of flour once again to help with the excess moisture. And then I added some white chocolate chips as well. Then I added it to a greased loaf pan and baked it off at 325 for about an hour. The loaf came out so perfect. It was moist and fluffy and just absolutely delicious. You have to give this recipe a try.